Today we've got the Sony Ericsson Xperia Arc. It's a new high-end handset from Sony Ericsson, and so let's take a closer look. So on the front of the phone we have a 4.2-inch LCD display which uses Sony's Bravia technology, which you might be familiar with in Sony TVs, for example. Along the bottom we have the menu key, home key and the back key for use within like Android applications, and we have the speaker at the top here, and we have the proximity and light sensors at the top there. On the top of the phone we have the power key. This is the only really niggle we have with this phone actually. It's actually quite hard to push the power key down, which is a bit annoying if you want to lock the phone, because you really have to dig your nail into that, to be honest. It's quite hard to find really. We have an HDMI port here for playing back videos and pictures that you take with the phone on your HD TV. On the right hand side we have the micro USB port here, and also the volume rocker, and at the bottom we have the camera shutter key. And on the back we have an 8.1 megapixel camera at the top here with a single LED flash. This is an XMOR sensor in this camera, which means it takes really nice photos in low light conditions. So if you're walking around at night and you want to take some photos, it does a really great job at doing that. And we've got this nice gradient finish here. Starts at like a pitch black here and gets to like a silvery finish here. We also have the speaker here, and on the bottom we have the microphone, the battery pull to pull off the battery cover, and this little thing here which I think is just for attaching accessories to. And so that's about it. Yeah, and on the left hand side you have a 3.5mm headphone jack, which is a bit awkward really, because it's on the side. You can only really use headphones that come out at a 90-degree angle like that, because otherwise there's a risk of it snapping really. But that's not too much of a problem, as they come with a decent pair of headphones anyway. So let's take a look at the software on this beast. The phone runs Android 2.3, which is the very latest version of Android, so that's pretty nice, unlike the Sony Ericsson Xperia X10, which ran 1.6, which was a very outdated piece of software, even for its time. So let's just brush over some technical specifications of the phone. As we've already mentioned, it has a 4.2-inch touchscreen on the front of the capacitive kind, so it's really easy to tap. You don't have to put any pressure down on the screen, and it allows for multi-touch like pinch to zoom and multi-touch games, so that's really nice. The phone is incredibly thin. You can see why it's called the Arc. Oh, sorry. Just zoom out. It arcs in the middle. Either edge is actually thicker, but the thinnest point is 8.7mm thick, which is crazily thin, to be honest. And inside this amazingly thin piece of kit we have a 1 GHz processor. I think it's a Qualcomm processor, so of the second generation, so it's quite snappy. It's not gonna be as quick as, say, the dual core processor found in a Samsung Galaxy S2 or the LG Optimus 2, but you know, it's really kind of snappy. So that's about it for the technical specifications. Oh, also it has 512 megabytes of RAM, which is pretty good. Again, not quite as much as the very latest handsets, which are now offering about 700 to 1 gigabyte. But you know, it's really quite adequate, and this phone comes in at a good price as well. So let's have a look at the insides of this phone now by looking at the software. So when we unlock the device, you've got pretty much a standard lock screen here. You just slide to unlock, and you can also slide that way to turn off the sound or turn it back on. So this is Sony Ericsson's Timescape UI. We've noticed that it runs really smooth. It's the smoothest UI we've used and they've also added some of their own touches to it, like the music widget is slightly different. You get this nice sparky effect when you're playing the songs. You get this like sparky effect on it, which is nice. You get quite a few widgets that have changed actually. The power control widget just looks a bit nicer, fits in better. So yeah, apart from running really smooth, it allows a little bit of customization. Not much more than the standard Android home screen application though, really. You can just add things to the dock, you can delete things. Not much different really, so let's take a closer look at some of the other things in this phone. Now, one of the big features about most Sony Ericsson Android phones is the timescape feature. I'll just load it up here. This jumbles together all your Twitter, Facebook, text messaging accounts into one quite nice looking list of posts. As you can see, it comes up with the people's profile picture or their contact picture and their last status or message that they left you, and you can just swipe through them like this. Looks really nice and smooth. So yeah, that's really nice, and you can just tap on someone and it will bring up closer, tap on it again and it brings it up in the app that it's meant to be viewed in. If you get a text message, it will open it up in your messaging app. If it's a Facebook message, it will open it up on your Facebook application. So that works really nicely. However, it does use quite a bit of battery, so we'd recommend updating it manually rather than letting it update automatically. Obviously, this is an Android handset, so you have access to the Android market where you can download, I think it's about 80,000 apps now. So that's a really nice feature. Although you do get on most Android handsets, it's just nice. The one thing we have noticed with this phone is the screen is absolutely brilliant. Considering it's nothing special technology-wise, it's not LED or AMOLED or anything like that. It's just LCD, but it absolutely looks brilliant. The colours are great. I've got a couple of photos here. It's got pretty much the standard gallery app, and if I open this picture here, just wait for it to load. There you go. The colours are absolutely brilliant. This is an HDR photo, so the colours are a bit saturated, but oh, whoops. Just load that again. So this is thanks to the Bravia engine in this phone that allows it to have really crisp edges on pictures and really nice colours as well. So that is like one of the best screens we've seen on a phone, and it's really nice. So Sony Ericsson load a few apps on here. It's not bloated out with apps, but it just includes a couple quite useful apps really. Like Track ID is really similar to like the likes of Shazam and Soundhound, in that you record what you're listening to and it finds what song you're listening to. So if you're in the street and you hear a song playing and you like it, you just click record and it'll find out what the song's called. We'll just have an example here. I'll just start a song up. So now you just click record. There you go, that's found it. That's the right song. So that works really nicely. So that's just one of the apps that Sony Ericsson has loaded onto the phone. It works nicely as well. It also has Facebook integration. I'll just show you that. So you can say you like this song by tapping that. It'll just say you need to allow it to post to your Facebook, but that's easy enough. And then after you've allowed it to post stuff to your wall, it'll say that you like the track, and it gives you more options as well, like downloading the track. You can find it on YouTube, share it. You can find out the artist. So it's really nice actually. That's a fairly useful app. And there's a support app as well. There it is. So basically this brings in Sony Ericsson support directly onto your phone, which is really nice. You've got a user guide on how to use your phone. You need to download it, but I won't do that now. Basically it's just made so people can easily find the solutions to problems and find out how to use their phone, which is really nice. So we have got a couple of problems with this phone. We found that the power key is sometimes quite hard to press down because it's very small and it doesn't really, as you can see, it's not, it's quite flush to the phone, so it's really hard to press it in. So other than that, it's quite a good phone. We have a couple other problems with it. The speaker that you talk, when you're on the phone, it's actually quite quiet, so it's really hard to hear people. Although it is quite clear, it's quite hard to hear people because if you're next to a road or something, it's not really loud enough. And although this phone does have two microphones, it has another microphone here for like noise cancelling, it doesn't really work that well. I've noticed that most of the time people are complaining of like lack of call quality when I'm talking to them on the phone, so that's not too great really. Now I'm sure the main feature for a lot of you who will buy this phone is the beautifully sized screen. It's massive, which is really nice, and also the looks and thinness. It's absolutely tiny in width. So as you can hopefully see there, my phone that I use on a daily basis, my personal phone, is about twice the thickness of this phone. I mean, this is a QWERTY phone, but even so, this is incredibly thin, which is brilliant. And we've also found battery life to be pretty good actually. I mean, if you're coming from a feature phone, it's not really great, but for other smartphone users who regularly use Android handsets like this one for instance, or most HTCs, the battery life on this is quite refreshing actually. It's really quite good. It will easily last a whole day, 2 days if you're lucky and you don't use it too much. And I've had Wi-Fi on most of the day actually, and it's lasted me about a day and a half, so it's really good actually, which is a nice change considering most Android phones and most phones nowadays actually have quite bad battery lives. So we'll just look at the core apps on this phone now. Just zoom in. The email app works really nice. You can have many accounts, really good. Allows you to add like manual settings, so it literally works with any email address, which is nice. Your contacts automatically sync with your Facebook account, so that's really nice. It goes by alphabet, and you can run your finger down here to go by the letter of their first name. It's really simple to use actually. This just brings up what contacts you want to sync with, and you can just add a contact like that, which is really nice actually. However, the phone application is a bit basic really. On most phones you type in the letters in their name and it will come up with their name. You just tap on it and it calls them, but there's none of that on this phone. You have to do it by number. Like, my contacts aren't showing up when I do that, which is a bit of a shame, but it's nothing really too much. And also build quality on this phone, Although it's not perfect by any means, it's pretty robust and quite solid, to be honest. The back cover, however, is a bit flimsy. It's just plastic, really. So that's a bit disappointing, but on the whole, the build quality on this phone is also brilliant. So for an overall rating of this phone, we're definitely going to give it a 9 out of 10, because it simply works so well. Everything runs really smoothly. All the games we play work. It plays HD video really easily, so it's really nice actually. So we're going to leave it there and give it a 9 out of 10. Thanks for watching.